Hello, everyone. My name is Charles, and this is the Geeks of the Round discussion of Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 3, Root of All Evil. With me are my co-hosts Todd Grundle and Isaiah Mullins. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, so, before we get started, what are your initial thoughts of the episode?
I loved it. I loved it a lot.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charles.
What the fuck is going on, Charles?
Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 3, Root of All Evil.
I apologize, folks. We are having some technical difficulties.
That's nothing new.
Yes. Okay, well, like Isaiah said that he loved the season, and I love the episode. Love the episode, yes, and I have to agree with him. I thought it was a great episode, too. I thought the whole stuff that happened between Abby and Jennifer Mills was great character development.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was great. Yes. Okay.
Listen, I don't want to judge. I don't know if it is the fact that I'm uneducated because I missed season 1. I tried to do a jump in. It worked for Hannibal. Hannibal was awesome. I was able to jump in. I was hooked through the second season. I went back and watched the first season. Thought I could do it with this one. I watched a little bit of the first. I couldn't fucking pay attention. I mean, I paid attention, but I couldn't get intrigued, and that's because of the two sisters, because I'm not aware of much of what they did. But the side story, which I feel should have been the main story with the coins and everything, I thought that was cool. I liked it.
The coins was the main story. It was just a mixture of both.
All I saw those two girls. I thought I was watching 90210 again.
The purpose. All right, I gotta say that it was a bit of both because the whole thing between the coins and the story. Yes, the coins were first introduced, but I think the purpose of what Henry wanted to do with the coins was to sort of create a rift between all the heroes. So he gave the coin to Jennifer, which caused her to go batshit crazy after Reyes.
To be fair, these coins were the monster, but the monster was actually the people themselves. The coins not doing much of the work. It's just pretty much showing people their true colors. That's what it's doing.
Basically, what it was is that the monster itself in the episode was people.
Right.
The coin was basically showing the dark side of humans. We all have that little bit of darkness within us. I mean, we always have that side of us where, like when we have a boss, we always imagine kicking the crap out of them because of how much we hate them.
Charles. That's Charles.
Yeah, so...
He's a gangster like that. That's what Charles is. He's a gangster.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. But it's just we all have that darkness within us. We all of us do. And the episode was making us aware of that truth, and I really liked that. I thought it was great. Yes. There were, actually, and I got to say this right now, Sheriff Reyes, the new captain.
Yeah.
The new police captain. Did I just say captain? Oh, God. But,
wow.
But, I would say that she's starting to grow on me.
I knew she would.
Yeah, she's starting to grow on me. Yeah, I really liked her in this episode. Like how when Abby had, when Jennifer had used Abby's login information to be able to view her personnel file, Reyes' personnel file, and I just thought that was really good, especially how Reyes had reacted to the whole thing. At first, she was like, "Well, why were you checking out my personnel file?" And then as soon as Abby brought up her mother, that's when she started to calm down. And she was like, "Oh, I mean, I was just doing my job." And Abby said, "Well, if you were doing your job, she would have ended up in prison, not a psych ward."
And then that was really interesting dialogue too, Charles. I really like that dialogue a lot because they were actually describing her mother, but as a bad way. But we learned more things behind Abigail and Jenny's history as well. It's like, wow, that's really cool. They're expanding the universe even more. And Reyes is that key. She opened more doors for the sisters as well. So that's what I love about that scene. They open up more doors.
Yes. And I got to say, the new character that they introduced in this episode. Yes. I don't remember the character's name. All I know is
Harley. Harley.
Okay, Harley. But, yeah, I've seen him in shows before. I think the first show I ever watched him in was that miniseries event called Harper's Island.
No one's ever seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it only lasted a season, and it was about these people about going to an island in New England, and they were all getting married, and they all got killed off by this psycho.
That sounds really boring.
It was actually pretty. It was actually more entertaining than you'd think. I mean, it was not bad. But anyway, that was the first thing I ever saw him in, and then I saw him in like other parts over the years and all that. But he's a decent actor on his own. He's decent.
Oh, his other parts?
And I liked him in this episode. And to be honest, I gotta say I want to see more of him. Shut up, Isaiah.
You tried to ignore me, and then you walked yourself right back into it.
Oh God, I didn't do nothing for that, folks. It was just amazing timing right there.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So yeah.
More of his other parts.
To pick up where Charles left off from that crazy good joke, the new character was really cool. He was like a parallel opposite of Ichabod Crane, which we do meet. We need a parallel opposite between that character.
Not parallel opposite, it's called a polar opposite.
So you mean he's exactly who Ichabod Crane should have been?
No, but more of a modern version. He's like a modern day Ichabod Crane, but he's like
he's not a polar opposite.
I'm not done yet. Be quiet over there.
That's still bothering me, how Ichabod Crane is the polar opposite of his literary counterpart. He still can't get
they go like, is anyone? I mean, he reminds me of that one character, Drake from Uncharted games. He reminded me of him.
Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake is the character's name.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me. Like, oh man, he's trying to be Nathan Drake. Oh shit, he's gonna be part of the show. I said we're gonna get some crazy action now. Some crazy.
Actually, if I had to compare him to any other character, it would have to be Bella Talbot from Supernatural.
Okay.
Bella Talbot from Supernatural was a character in that show played by Lauren Cohen, who is now currently acting in Walking Dead, and she was a thief. She would go out and she would steal these artifacts, and then she would sell them to the highest bidder. And this character Harley in Sleepy Hollow, I kind of get the feeling that he may not be a thief, but he's sort of a like Ichabod said, he's a privateer.
Pretty much a pirate or a thief.
No, I would say he's neither. I think he's an acquirer. He acquires artifacts and then he sells them. He doesn't steal them.
Like Han Solo.
He buys them. He buys them from other people and then he sells them. I don't know what the exact term is, but I don't think that he's a thief. I don't think
he's Han Solo a little bit.
Where in the living hell do you get that?
Because Han Solo did the same thing. He traded things. He bought things.
So what you're calling? Oh, I get it. Smuggler. I got it. Smuggler.
Right, he's a smuggler.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for too.
Yeah.
So he's just like that, but here I'll be very brief with this. He was just he was on his own. He was on his own 2 feet. He stood out to me as a character that he can be on his own. He can actually have some interesting story elements with the main characters. And how he became more of a snarky, more much an asshole character to Crane, and Crane was too much an asshole to him. He was like, that's awesome. That's chemistry right there. Yeah,
I can definitely see chemistry growing between those characters. I mean, I'm pretty sure now. Of course, Jennifer and Harley, they've known each other for years, so right. There's no more character development for them. I don't think.
No.
But for Abby, there's probably going to be a character development, and all right, this is actually going to be really weird. But I'm kind of going into speculation territory here, but I think there might be a romance that will develop between Abby and Harley, possibly. Well, of course, I would say that it's not going to be a romance that's going to succeed. I think that there's going to be a short-lived arc between the two of them, where they're gonna share a kiss. There's going to be a couple of episodes where they're sleeping together, and then Abby's going to realize that they can't do this anymore, and she's going to end it. And I think that's what's going to happen. However, that's not the point of what's going to be awesome. What's going to be awesome is the chemistry and character development between Harley and Ichabod. It is going to be downright full-blown hilarity the whole time.
Sorry to interrupt you, Charles, but I have to make this out too. Ichabod Crane was very good in this episode because he kept on going back and harking back to his old time. And you can see Abby say, "Oh God, please stop." You can see Harley say, "Oh dear God." I said, "You don't want to know." And he just goes like, "Oh yes, it was different." Oh my God, dude, shut up.
Well, there is one thing I gotta say that happened right at the beginning of the episode where they drive up to the bank where they see Henry walk out, and then all of a sudden Ichabod looks to the cafe and says, "Is that now tolerable nowadays?" And she said like, oh, that. I mean, yeah. A lot of things have changed since then. I mean,
It was something about like same-sex couples.
yes, but the thing is that they she was saying like, oh yeah, even, I mean the government's been trying to protect the constitutional right for same-sex couples to get married and all that kind of stuff. And then Ichabod's like, no, I was referring to gentlemen wearing hats indoors. I know well aware of homosexuals. I trained under Baron von something. I mean, in his affection to his own.
Alfred. I think it was Alfred.
Yeah, his affection towards his own sex was well known far and wide. And I also watched the finale of Glee, and I'm like, oh, of course you did.
Oh my god, that was just funny. That was funny.
Yeah, oh man, I was dying of laughter at that part.
Oh god.
Well, of course they have to say the finale of Glee because it's on the same damn channel.
Yeah, but how you just roll it off, it's just so natural, like, and I watch Glee.
Yes, and I'm like, why? Why do you watch that god-awful show, Glee?
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't watch Glee because I don't like musicals. I wouldn't touch a musical with a 50-foot
Here we go with the
I've
music
never seen
again.
an episode of Glee in my life, and I'm proud of that fact.
Yes, you should be. Yeah.
Even
You should
though
be
there's an
proud.
appeal to Jane Lynch in a tracksuit. Like, much fun can ensue. Not that kind of an appeal, you pervert.
Hey, I got Jessica Lange, so I'm good. I got Jessica Lange, so I'm good, folks. I'm good.
Okay, but
Moving
yeah,
on from that.
just that scene alone just made the whole episode for me. I'm like, oh, of
Right.
course you did. Yes, but now, you know what? And I gotta say this right now, folks. I am well aware that we are not going in order. I don't know how that happened, but we're just gonna run with it now.
It's
So-
chaos. It's anarchy.
Oh, Anarchy!
The walls.
Yes, but I would have to say that another scene that I really enjoyed, which was not a very long scene, it was very short, very basic, but it was still enjoyable, was the scene between Henry and the Horseman.
I like that
Yes.
scene a lot.
Yes, that was a good scene where they were talking and how the Horseman was questioning
Henry.
the orders given to him, going like, well, why am I confined to this house with Katrina when you're living in your family home, kind of thing.
Like chilling.
And Henry's like, well, if you have issues with our orders, take them up with Moloch. And then the Horseman just shut the hell. He just shut the hell up.
No, he didn't shut the hell. He just shut the fuck up. Like, oh.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I can manage. I'm not really going to mention anything to Moloch.
But,
Because Moloch doesn't have a suggestion box. You give him any suggestions, any questions, yeah, he'll give you those suggestions, those questions back in the form of your head on a silver platter.
right, and then also it was very detailed too how Katrina was actually manipulating the Horseman and trying to manipulate Henry, but that's close to impossible because he's the master of manipulation. Because it was just really interesting. Katrina was actually doing something that actually was good and actually helpful too. Like she was trying to mess up the alliance and trying to just get people confused. But Henry
here's my question.
Yeah.
The Horseman, I can understand how he might not see this coming because, well, he doesn't have a head. But but with Henry, I would have expected Henry to be smart enough to know what his mother is planning.
Well, again, Katrina knows her way around wizards and warlocks and all that type of situation. So
Well, Henry is not a wizard or a warlock. He is a full-blown horseman of the apocalypse.
true, but again, Henry, he's a little bit. He wants to be connected. Like when Katrina said, like Henry wants to be close to his mother. That's why he went to their house in the first place. He's like he wants to connect with her. He don't want. No, if he doesn't. He doesn't really like acknowledge it. He knows it's there. Like it's like a sixth sense. Like I gotta be with my mother. That's how every child wants to be. Close to their mother and or father or both. So
Yeah.
this makes perfectly good sense why he's a little bit blinded a little bit because he wants to be with his mother, but at the same time he hates his father very much so.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was still good. And to be honest, Henry is great as a villain.
Oh God, he's great. He's amazing.
Yes, he is awesome. But then again, it is John Noble. You put him in anything, and he will do it flawlessly.
I've never seen him before, but I will say he's one of the high points of the show for me.
He was actually in Fringe for all
Yeah.
5 years. He was in Fringe for all 5 years. He played Walter Bishop.
I've seen him in the commercials for Fringe.
Yes, and he was also in one episode of my favorite science fiction show, Stargate SG-1, in an episode called Camelot.
He was also in an awesome game called L.A. Noire. He was one of the bad guys, but he was really cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing videos of him in that game. I do.
He was really good. He was really hard to manipulate.
I own that game, and I played about half of it, and
It was really it's fun, but just don't play the open world game. Just don't. Trust me. Anyways, moving on from that, we go in more detail about the coin.
somebody want to play video games tonight? I mean, first you're bringing up Nathan Drake, LA Noir.
We'll think about that later. Anyways, folks.
Yes.
Anyways, getting back to because the coin was causing so much chaos because it has a spell over it due to Henry's manipulation and pretty much everything's behind it because he's planning something big, much bigger than the coin itself. So when Ichabod and Abby tried to meet Captain Irving, they couldn't see him because his lawyer actually said like, "Oh, his lawyer said you can't come. Why? We don't know why. So whatever." Then who's the lawyer's name? Henry. I forgot his last name, but Henry
Parrish. Really? You forgot Henry Parrish as in his last name. You forgot
Oh,
that.
really now? Oh, we're gonna play that game now. We're gonna play that game. Okay. At least
Yes,
I
we're
know
gonna play.
Wally West. At least I know Wally West.
You son of a bitch.
Exactly. Shut up. Thank you. Anyways, folks, and, it was a really interesting conversation with Ichabod and his son. Saying, your son's a lawyer. You must be very proud.
Oh, man, that was such a dick thing to say.
He was trolling the hell out of him.
Yeah, it was like, I could hear the famous Trollololol song in the background. I could.
And then it kept going too. It's like, hey, I gotta open it for family too. Hey, if you need me, just go. You know what it's called.
Oh, yes. And then, after he was done talking with Ichabod, he was about to walk out, and then Captain Reyes said, "Mr. Crane,
It's like,
I
oh.
thought I made myself clear. Stay away from police work." And then as soon as she said that, he turned around and started getting all high and noble, trying to say like, "Oh, I thought that this country was all about liberty and all that kind of stuff." It's like, "Oh, okay then. Well, I'm as sheriff and captain of the police force here in Sleepy Hollow, I am responsible for the safety and well-being of everybody here. And I also am responsible for defending their liberties, which means, and with you, almost nothing is known about you. There's like you don't even exist, so that brings a problem." And as soon as she said that, Ichabod's like, "What? Oh, okay. My identification is at my home. I will go there and get it. You have 24 hours.
I mean,
Cheers."
that was so classic too. I'm sorry, that was so funny. Like, oh shit, she actually had a comeback. Oh, well. Moving on.
Yes.
Oh, God.
That was awesome. That's the scene that kind of got Reyes growing on me. That was the scene that was like, oh man, that is badass.
That's really interesting thing because that's the whole idea. I mean, the whole identification was actually a funny joke too in the episode because they went on to Ichabod can't get beer. Like, oh my god, I don't have no notification. Please leave me alone.
Yes, where he was getting the beers, like going like, "Oh my God, I don't have any notification." But I also like the part of what he said when they said they gave him the Sam Adams beer, and he looked at the beer and he said, "Puh." It was like, "What?" It was like, "Well, first off, Sam Adams was not into debauchery. He was too far aristocratic for that. That
And
person,
went on.
the person on the beer was Paul Revere." And I was like, "Well." Yes, and I thought that was great. I thought it was hilarious.
And I said, Crane, please stop. Just stop. There's no need.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But on to a much happier note, or a more interesting note. Jennifer Mills went into the little hidey hole place that they go in, and she went on to Abby's laptop and went into her login information and read up on Reyes's personnel file and found out that that bitch helped put their mom away.
Again, she was doing her job, and I understand why, but
Well,
it was still a dickish move.
yeah, well, it wasn't really a dickish move because if you remember when Abby was talking to Reyes about that thing, and Reyes had said, "Oh, I was just doing my job," and Abby said, "Well, if you were doing your job, she would have been sent to prison instead of the mental institution."
Okay, and also
Which
we
is
should
right.
also make a note behind this too.
Yeah.
Ginny was trying to help out Abby and Ichabod trying to find a coin, And so it was an evidence too. So she kind of did some sneaking of her own. She knew what it was, but also she was looking up at Reyes' file. And this scene, which I was talking about how Reyes was talking about she was doing her job, that's happened after that scene. So I'm just making some few notice that people might get confused at.
As I've stated, we are going out of order in this episode. I don't know how it happened, but it did.
I know what you're saying, Charles. I'm just saying, like, some people, that scene pretty much should be in the same order.
Well, like Deanno and Matt have said in other hangouts before, the people who are watching this discussion have probably already seen the episode. So
I know, but
there's probably not going to be any confusion, and if there is, it'll be minimal.
Okay, okay.
Like the confusion where they say, like, who the fuck are these assholes talking about a show they know nothing about?
That's true.
Yeah,
but moving on from there,
yes.
Again, that opened up so many interesting doorways, and then I think at the end of the episode, I know I'm jumping around myself, that they actually Abby read the files of her mother that she told to her doctors that she was tormented. She had demons and so much more. So it makes you think, like, so was Moloch really Moloch was pretty much an asshole to Abby's family? And that'd be really yes.
Well, that when that was brought up, that actually made me believe that maybe Moloch had selected them from early on, probably when they were very young, maybe infants, or perhaps before they were even born. I mean, demons have done crazier shit in movies and TV shows before.
Right.
So I wouldn't put it past them to have done that, to be able to mark the girls before they were even born.
Yeah, since Abby's mother's in the play here, that's going to bring up some more interesting speculations from me.
Well, as we know, Abby and Jennifer's mother is basically dead. She offed herself. She killed herself.
Hey, now, we were there with Moloch, remember?
But remember, if you want to get religious, suicide is considered a mortal sin, and in this, they are following a sort of a different version of the whole idea of the apocalypse according to Christians. And so I would think that maybe Jennifer and Abby's mother is basically forced into serving Moloch.
Okay, let's be honest here. She might be in purgatory.
She probably is in purgatory.
However, we don't know that, but that'd be so cool if that was cool. That'd be weird too. Like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But we're not at speculation again because we're still in the show because it was still a good one too.
Yes.
And I think when the coin actually was in Jenny's hands, it was really scary too. It was that kind of like, oh my god, she got it in her hands. She's a real sniper. She's a real badass. And the funny thing about that new character, he knows Jenny very well. So when he saw that flash of glare of the lens of the scope lens of the sniper rifle, it's like, yo, that's her over there. It's like, damn, dude, I didn't know that. Like, wow. So he's very useful. And that was a really cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, should we actually talk about when he went to church and he actually broke
the glass?
Oh yeah,
yes, we should about that because that was.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What?
Of course, I spoke and the fucking whole thing broke. I finally speak.
Anyway, enough of the silence. Anyways, folks.
Please.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, folks. We're still good. We're still good to go.
Yes.
Anyway, back to what we were saying from before. Oh yes, that when Ichabod and Harley went to the church because they need to get glass to capture the coin because mortal hands can't touch it. They need something that's purified, something sanctified, something holy. So they go to church.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Okay, let's get the glass." Okay, how are we gonna do that? You got any glass cutters? No, he's gonna break the glass. A church.
And then Ichabod said, "Have you no respect?" I was like, I mean, what? Do you think we have any glass cutters here?
No,
we don't have time.
No, he said, you have any sense of time, man? You know any glass cutters? Oh, well, it was like a good comeback too. Like, damn, he has a good point.
Yeah, Ichabod has not been having much luck when trying to talk to people because they've all had wise comebacks to him.
Right, and
then the priest shows up and says, "Hi, can I help you, fellas?" And then Ichabod says, "Oh, I'm here to confess." and then Ichabod goes in, and more hilarity ensues.
Oh God, yes. He was talking about, oh, my son hates me. My wife is living with another man, and my life is pretty much destroyed and over. And yeah,
And then, of course, you hear the shattering of glass and said, oh, okay, good talk. I'm out of here.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. That was my reaction, like, oh shit, he actually broke it. Like, oh shit. It was like, wow, they actually went that far. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
surprised
man.
that not getting. I'm
That was
surprised
funny.
the religious folks didn't get mad at that.
Yeah, that was really, really funny. I really love that scene. I mean, that's one of the high notes, the mini high notes of Sleepy Hollow, is how Ichabod reacts to certain things that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Most of the hilarious stuff happened in season 1, and if you haven't seen season 1, you need to get up, go watch it. I don't care how you watch it, just go watch it.
It's on Hulu Plus. It's go there. If you don't have Hulu Plus, still go there. It's free. Go.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. But oh man, it was just great. I think we pretty much covered all that. Which it looks like this is actually going to be a short hangout, unless speculation goes pretty high.
Okay.
But one thing I do feel we need to talk about is what happened when Jennifer touched the coin and went out into the woods to try to kill Reyes.
Yes. Now that scene, I love that scene. It was very powerful too.
That was the scene that definitely shined for Abby and Jenny.
Yes, I agree with that too. No, in fact, season 1 had a lot of great moves for them. This one here was more powerful.
Yes, it was probably the most powerful scene that existed between the two of them.
Right.
I had a powerful boner thinking about it.
I'm sorry, Todd. Could you repeat that?
No.
Okay then.
But yeah, it was a great scene because the coin itself, again, I'll say this again, the coin doesn't turn people into monsters. The monster is already inside them. So Jenny had so many demons packed inside of her without nobody's help, so much anger, so much frustration towards the world, and towards Reyes, who took away her mother. And then this scene with Abby told her, like, yeah, I dislike my mother because she left us. She took the easy way out. It was like, wow, she actually went that far. Hopefully doesn't get her killed. But then again, we kept going more and more. It's like that was a really heart-to-heart conversation that I have not seen a lot with female characters, but this one was very unique and very special because the character build up over time. Like in season 1, it built up very well over time, and here it plays off very well because you get that emotional, and you kind of get teary up. I did, so it was really good, and it kind of pretty much she had a lot of, it's really proven to the coin itself is it can be stopped if you have enough willpower. Like, oh my God, we forgot Benjamin Franklin. We forgot him completely. Like, oh shit, we got Benjamin Franklin, because that was a really interesting flashback story. Not Ben, sorry, Benjamin. Yeah, Benjamin.
I don't remember
Sorry, I got those names confused. Benedict Arnold. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, Benedict Arnold. That's what you were referring to.
Yeah,
Yeah, those scenes with Benedict Arnold were probably awesome. And I gotta say this, I was never really much of a history buff back in school, but I knew the gist of everything that was going on. However, I knew nothing of Benedict Arnold.
Really?
I knew nothing about him at all.
Really?
Really?
Never heard the phrase, yeah, nice one, Benedict Arnold.
I actually have heard that phrase before.
And you've never put two and two together?
Well, I just thought it was something. I mean, yeah, I know this. I mean, I know this makes me seem like an uneducated asshole, but
Too late.
oh, you know what? Do not make this about something similar to Wally West.
What? I didn't say Wally West. You said it though, so thank you.
Listen, Benedict Arnold's a little bigger than the Wally West thing. I know his name, and I know it from the phrase. So I know about as much as you do, Charles. Because I
I know
don't.
you were a traitor. We knew this back in school.
Isaiah, Mr. Smartass, tell us about Benedict Arnold, please, because we are stupid.
Okay.
Educate us
Okay. Benedict Arnold.
with your
folks,
messed up logic.
He was pretty much a traitor. It was kind of sad too, because he was a trusted. His old man trusted him very well on the right side of history. But when he started switching, like, oh, time to switch sides. Like, oh damn. So yeah, and after that time, both sides not liking.
I know all that much too. It means being a traitor, so I assumed he switched sides as well.
Yeah, he's switching sides. But actually, how this story evolves on the
That motion when he did it, is that in the history books? He
Yep.
pissed up like at the end scene of The Breakfast Club or something, jumping in the
Yep.
air. But
Yep.
don't
Victory jump.
playing or some other 80s synth music.
Right, but it was really interesting too. I love how they pretty much mess up with history, but the history messing up history actually helps to show itself even more. So it's something like, Benjamin, that traitor, McTraitor, he was actually corrupted by the coin. Again, the coin is pretty much the monster within ourselves. So it wasn't really the coin's fault; it's actually his fault still. It's like, yeah, Ichabod know that too. Like, yeah, even the coin was there, it was still his fault. He was still a good man to Ichabod's standards. And it was really showing too that he did try to fight that evil, but he really did wish he could go back in time and just change everything that he did, because he won't be just a pariah of what a traitor really is, which he is. So I really like how that story played out. And I love how they do the flashback. I love the flashback. I hope we get like a whole full episode of flashback.
Well,
It happened one time. I hope it happens again.
There was that one flashback where Ichabod had said at the end of the episode where there was one final meeting between him and Benedict, where he was in the woods and he got surrounded by British soldiers and they were pointing their guns at him, and then Benedict Arnold showed up and looked at him and gave him this face saying, "I'm sorry,"
Right.
giving him the face like he was sorry, and then he told his soldiers to move on.
Yeah, that was powerful right there.
Yeah, that was a great scene, and even though Benedict Arnold is only in the flashbacks, we need to see more of him.
Was the face like Puss in Boots and Shrek
Yeah, it's just like that.
when he
It's
made
just
that
like that.
face?
Yeah, it's just like that. Like, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Bye.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very powerful scene, and I loved it. And on that note, I think we've pretty much covered everything in the episode, even though we all did it out of order. But yeah, you know what? Who cares? What's done is done. It happens. And besides, the people who watch this hangout, they've probably already watched the episode.
Right.
The people who are watching this hangout, you don't want to know what they're doing.
Probably not. Probably not.
I happen to know of a few viewers who are most likely not wearing pants right now.
I believe it. I believe it. This is the internet, after all.
And it's all for you, Charles. You don't know. There's fan mail that comes into the Geeks Around homepage about, there's let's just say that the phrase creamy is used often.
Oh, so they're saying that I'm creamy. Okay, I'm going to take that as a compliment because I'm not really sure how else to take it. So, but anywho, since we've covered most of the episode, I would say that it's time for us to get into speculation. Wild speculations, because I fucked it up. But, yes. Okay. I got to say, the speculation that I have already said, but I do think that I want to say it again. I think that there's going to be this romantic/sexual fling between Harley and Abby. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be one of those situations where they have like a couple of times they have sex, and then after that, Abby realizes that this is wrong, and she's going to end it. And I think that's going to happen.
You're a fucking perverted deviant. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with you, Charles. Sex. All you think about are perverted things. You just take simple things that are totally innocent and not sexual, and you make weird sexual thoughts of that because you're a sick deviant.
Yes, of course, I am a sexual deviant. Okay, whatever.
Oh, God. Todd, you crazy, man. It's like, Charles, you see that? Todd's doing something really, really crazy.
Yes, Todd, you're the sexual deviant, man.
What? You're a fucked up person.
Anyways.
But I have one more speculation.
All right, fine.
On the subject of Abby and Jenny's mother killing herself and then the possibility of her being in purgatory, I think she's going to come back. I think they're going to cast her because they wouldn't have mentioned her as much as they did in this episode if they weren't going to have her show up later in the season. I think what's going to happen with Abby and Jenny's mom is the same thing that happened to Deputy Andy when Mullock turned him into a full-blown demon last season.
Yeah, and I like Andy. I hope we see him again.
So I have a feeling that John Cho might come back in Sleepy Hollow, but only in a guest appearance for like maybe one more episode, maybe two. Because according to
I
the
don't
thing,
care.
he's dead. He's not on Earth anymore. He's stuck in purgatory.
Anyways, but anywho,
Does your
on to
body
my
go to
question.
purgatory too, like, or just like physically do you go there, or you're just
You
yourself?
physically go there.
Yeah, you physically go there.
Can I go next? Can
Yeah.
I go next? Can I go next?
Yes, you can go next.
Right.
I have a speculation
Oh, you gonna go in front of the black guy?
with the
Hell it
question.
is.
My speculation begins with a question. The question is, have all four horsemen been revealed?
No, the only
No.
two horsemen that have been revealed is the Horseman of Death and the Horseman of War. Conquest and Famine are the only ones that are still yet to be announced.
And that would leave, what are the other twos?
Conquest and Famine. Conquest is supposed to be Pestilence. Conquest is supposed to be Pestilence, and Famine is, well, Famine. So,
Okay. So my speculation, somebody said that the Katrina lady will become one. I think somebody said that.
that was Isaiah that said that, because I think he's wrong.
Well, be that at, whether that is or not, I think somebody else that is immortal, like, for instance, maybe Orlando Jones, is going to become a horseman.
All right, that is more believable. That's more believable.
Specifically, I think Orlando Jones. But I'm not educated enough. I want to watch before I really make it. But from the bits I'm seeing with Tim, I have a feeling that could happen. It might be cool. Or what would you guys think that would be?
I would agree. I would agree that it's very possible that Orlando Jones' character, which is Captain Irving, Frank Irving, he is going to become another horseman. Now, I don't know what horseman. I don't know. But I don't know if it's going to be Conquest. It's highly unlikely to be Famine, but I don't know yet.
Possibly Conquest, because he's been taken down. You know what I'm saying? He was high up. Now he's, he's the polar opposite of where he started off the show, and now he reclaims himself, becomes this horseman of conquest.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But with that theory, I would have to say it's very likely that he would become a horseman before Katrina.
Now,
So,
can I get my stuff out now?
Personally, I think that Katrina has a different point in the story.
Yeah. Go on, Isaiah.
Finally, jeez. A black guy has a better speculation all put together. Okay, folks, here's my speculations. Knowing the fact I say Katrina might be the horseman, which I still claim to this day, how about this, folks? Abby's mother becomes a horseman as well. Besides being Andy, because Andy was a good try, but Moloch wants to do something really big, something that's actually going to hurt the heroes themselves, like use someone from their own lives. Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't think Abby and Jenny's mom is going to become a horseman. Actually,
I think she is, man. Either her or Katrina. Got to be someone of a female writer. It has to be a female writer.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I would say that maybe it's possible. Here's another bit of speculation that I have. Captain Reyes, let's say that she finds out what's going on and she actually tries to help them. Turns out she's an agent for the side of good. A direct enemy to Moloch. Moloch is a demon. Maybe she is either an angel or she's working with the angels.
That would be very, very interesting. We kind of need some higher supernatural sides for our heroes.
Because I just think that introducing a new character like this, I think it'd be more likely that she would be on the side of good because of how much of a hard ass she is. Because sometimes a good person needs to be aggressive, needs to be tough in order to get the person they want to help to actually stand on their own 2 feet and to fight for themselves.
Right,
they need a firm hand sometimes.
Yeah, and plus our heroes don't have much leverage either, because Moloch and his team, no fact they beat Moloch and his team, they still feel overly powerful. Our heroes are not powerful. If monsters are more powerful than them, which is kind of scary, but it still makes the show even more fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the speculation that we have for this episode of Sleepy Hollow. So, on that note, I think it's time to take this awesome hangout to a close. This has been Charles Whedon, Isaiah Mullins, and Todd Grundle discussing the third episode of Season 2 of Sleepy Hollow called The Root of All Evil. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.